Hi, hey, and hello there. Obi-Han here, and welcome back to the Comic High Ground. Okay, look, I get it. I'm way behind on Ultimate Spider-Man. I can see your comments now.
You have failed this city!
Yeah, I know.
Calm down, Bat Oliver. I'm back, and I came back at a good time, because this issue was a big one. Honestly, the past 3 issues were really slow and full of dialogue that could have easily been condensed into like 2 issues. But to catch everyone up, Richard escaped by becoming Venom, which we kind of figured he would, and he kicked everyone's butt. But Fisk, of course, because he escaped like a little punk. Peter and Mary Jane had to move in with her aunt Anna. It's not Peter's aunt, it's Mary Jane's aunt Anna. Mo-Man also offered to help Peter out in the future, which we'll see. Actually, we do see where that goes because we said that in this issue. We'll get to that. The next issue was literally all talking. And what we basically found out from it was that Gwen is cold and tactical, and Mary Jane had to knock the bitch out of her. I'm sorry, there's no other way of putting it. She literally had to knock the bitch out of her, which, I mean, I don't think she did. She knocked her out, though. And after that, the next issue was a big backstory about Martin Lee, where we find out that he had to fight with Kingpin when he really started. This is basically back when Lee was really becoming like a high crime lord, and then he had to basically face Fisk in a power struggle. And yeah, he lost. He lost, so he just became Fisk's general. Now, he kidnapped Wesley in this issue, and he used his abilities to control Wesley and pretty much find out all kinds of things that he didn't know, like the fact that Wesley was a Mysterio, amongst other things. So he basically sent Wesley to the meeting that the Mysterios had, and Wesley had a bomb attached to him, and it went off. And then when it went off, we also saw that Lee had begun his attack on the heroes, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, maybe on Fisk and them as well, but I don't quote me on that. But yeah, that's pretty much it at this point. I think it's really a 3-party faction right now. It's like you have the heroes, and then you have Fisk, and you have Lee, because I think Lee is doing his own thing. So I'm also not sure how Lee knew to attack or where to attack Peter and everybody. I'm assuming maybe Gwen knew where they were, and maybe she told Wesley, and that's how Wesley knew it, and that's how Lee knew it. Maybe, I'm not sure. They don't really go into it. But let's get to this issue. So we start out by seeing Spider-Man pick up Chinese food, and we see him arrive home, which, by the way, looks to be in the underground area where Mo-Man is. So, yeah, I guess he did help him out. And, again, we see this Spider-Man met by Mary Jane. The issue is that that's not Peter. It's Otto. So, now we have the Superior Spider-Man in the Ultimate Universe. Let's think about that for a second here. Let's just pause and think about this for a second, because I have questions. Maybe y'all can enlighten me, but how in the heck is this possible? Because I don't remember the comic telling us how he was able to achieve this. We know he wanted to study the Pico suit. We know Peter did, I think, give him the Pico suit, but we also know that the Pico suit went and pretty much took over as Peter when Peter and Harry got abducted by Kraven. So, when did this all happen? I mean, it's a lot of stuff that happened off panel, apparently, because I'm gonna assume that this suit is just like a almost perfect copy of the Pico suit, and Otto has purposed it to be a suit of his own. That's the only thing I can think of, because they don't explain it in this issue, and nor has it been talked about before this issue. It's just Otto wants to study the suit, and that was that, aside from him being in Peter's apartment. But yeah, it was kind of jarring, I'm not gonna lie, because it's like he's Otto, and then okay, we got Superior Spider-Man running around here. All right, well, cool, I guess we'll just roll with that line of storytelling. But in any case, we find out that Peter and Harry are out on patrol kicking butt, Peter tells Harry that the dinner is back, and Harry elects to stay put and patrol some more. Because honestly, he's still dealing with what happened to Gwen. We find out in the beginning of this issue that it's been like 3 months since that, and obviously Harry's still processing it. So Peter reluctantly heads home, and we see that Harry looks to be following the influence of the Norman AI again. And they are planning something, which is, again, interesting because I think he had kind of let up on listening to the AI, particularly because he was listening to Gwen. So instead of listening to the AI, he was listening to Gwen. Harry is a follower in this comic. I guess he always was a bit of a follower. Harry has never... Well, let me not lie. I was going to say Harry has never been a strong person. Harry's been strong, but it depends on the depiction. Harry can either be a really strong personality or he can be a very weak-minded personality, depending on who's writing him. And it's kind of hard to tell how how Hickman is writing, like with his main influence. We don't know. It's like I guess a middle of the ground here. You never know. It just depends on who's writing here, what you're gonna get. So while Peter is away, Ott comes up with some type of device that needs to be taken into Kingpin's stronghold. It's basically a device that can access the Maker's tech and render his knowledge of the heroes pretty much non-existent. So surely a mission of this magnitude will require a lot. And what does Otto do? Well, he gives the device to Richard and is like, hey, get Black Cat to sneak this in there. Yeah, Otto puts the responsibility in the hands of 2 teenagers. Yeah, you know what? Actually, that's very Otto, and that's very superior Spider-Man Otto as well. So, by the way, we should note that Peter and Mary Jane obviously know nothing about this, and when they find out, when they find out, I don't think Peter's the one that Otto has to worry about. Honestly, after seeing what Mary Jane did to Gwen, he might want to put some type of plating or something in his mask, cause Mary Jane's probably gonna knock the hell out of him. Yeah, I don't think Peter's gonna get the chance. I think Mary Jane's gonna do it. So Richard takes the device to Felicia, who already has an axe to grind with Fisk, and the mission is basically a go. Peter has some alone time with MJ, and he mentions how he has this strange feeling, and that feeling is that something bad is about to happen. So we then cut to Harry, who looks to be planning an attack on Fisk with some type of mutated Mysterio thing. I mean, it's like this Mysterio with like multiple arms. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. Maybe the Mysterios like had this is a result of like their power or something, and it became that. Maybe they combined like Captain Planet. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what this is. We're gonna have to see. And if I'm not mistaken, this is coinciding with Richard and Felicia's little sneak in. So yeah, trouble is definitely coming. And this, who knows, could be what causes Peter and Harry to go to blows. I know y'all like, Oberheim, you've been saying that Peter and Harry are gonna fight since like issue 4 or something. Like, stop. But I'm not gonna give up on that. You can't have Spider-Man and Green Goblin and not have a fight. All right. So that's the issue. Not a long video, especially considering the fact that I covered like 3 issues in one video. But the other ones were kind of like cliff notes, quick little bullet points, and that was done on purpose. I should, when the next issue comes out, I should be able to cover that one immediately, because again, things are picked up. And like as we're making this video, I'm also planning and scripting the video for Spider-Man 94. Not a lot happened in that either, but a few good things to point out. So you all see that very soon as well. Hit that like button if you like what you saw here. Drop a comment. What do you think is up with the Mysterio thing? What's going on? Do you agree with me that Peter and Harry might fight because of whatever's about to happen, and I'm almost positive that Richard's gonna get caught up in the middle of it? Who do you think is gonna kick Otto's ass for putting Richard and them in danger? I'm still kind of kind of leaning on Mary Jane doing it, but we'll see. Yeah. And also, I said that there were 3 factions. It's kind of like 4, ish, because I keep forgetting about like the maker side of things. He's very much so still a big thing in this universe, and that's what the like conclusion of this arc, I'm sorry, this comic run is gonna be dealing with the maker. So yeah, we can't forget about him. I don't know where they're gonna take that, but we'll have to see. So again, let me know what you thought of that. Hit that subscribe button for more. And remember, we have the high ground. Catch you later.